Limpy. Time limits. Each group taking a time limit.
ਹੋਰ ਕੌਣ ਬੱਚਾ ਬੋਲਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ? बनीत कौर रेडी है? और कौन बच्चा है? और कौन बोलने का? सीरत आज सीरत आ रही है। अनूप ने बोलना Okay, Bhavani, I think they also move forward.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਮੰਮਾ ਜੀ ਇੱਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦਿ ਜਪੁ ਆਦਿ ਸਚ ਜੁਗਾਦਿ ਸਚ ਹੈਪੀ ਸਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸਚ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
ਓਕੇ ਜੀ, ਕੋਈ ਹੋਰ ਬੱਚਾ ਬੋਲਣਾ ਚਾਹੇ ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਪਹਿਲੇ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਦਾ ਕੰਪੀਟੀਸ਼ਨ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਨ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਥੋੜੀਆਂ ਇੰਸਟਰਕਸ਼ਨਸ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਜੱਜਿਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਵੀ ਤੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ। ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਦੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਲਾਈਨ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਬੈਠ ਜਾਓ ਅੱਗੇ, अपने अपने स्पीचेस है कि आगे बढ़ो।
मनोज मनजोत रंजन प्रभजोत अच्छा इतने पूरे बैठे एक बैठो।
ओके ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਦੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੇ ਉਹ 6 ਸਾਲ ਤੋਂ 8 ਸਾਲ ਦੀ ਉਮਰ ਤੱਕ ਦੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੇ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਬੁੱਕ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਗਈ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਅੱਗੇ ਸਕਰੀਨ ਤੇ ਨਾਮ ਵੀ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਰਹਿਣਗੇ, ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਵੀ ਆਉਣਗੇ। ਤੇ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਇਹ ਕਿਹਾ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਕੰਪੀਟੀਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ, ਇਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਬੈਸਟ ਸਪੀਕਰ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਲਈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜੈਕਾਰਾ ਬੁਲਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਹੌਸਲਾ ਅਫਜ਼ਾਈ। ਪਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਫਸਟ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਹੁਣ ਕੰਪੀਟੀਸ਼ਨ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਜੈਕਾਰਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਬੁਲਾਉਣਾ। ਜਦੋਂ ਪੂਰਾ ਕੰਪਲੀਟ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਹੋ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਕਹਾਂਗੇ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਕਿ ਸਾਰੇ ਜੈਕਾਰਾ ਬੁਲਾਉਣਾ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੱਜਮੈਂਟ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਸਹੀ ਹੋ ਸਕੇ, ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਜੈਕਾਰਾ। तो सारे बच्चे all the kids you will come matha take and then come for the speech, everybody knows है ना। matha take के बाबा जी को फिर आना speech शुरू करनी, speech finish होने से फिर matha take के बैठना। ते जजेस वास्ते ਜਿਹੜਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਬੱਚੇ ਬੋਲਦੇ ਨੇ they can speak English ਜਾਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਵੀ ਲੈਂਗੁਏਜ ਵਿੱਚ। ਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜੱਜਿੰਗ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਜਾਂ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਦੇ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨੀ, चाहे बच्चा इंग्लिश बोले चाहे पंजाबी बोले, और कंटेंट देखना है कि कंटेंट राइट है या रॉन्ग है, नॉट बेस्ड ऑन द लैंग्वेज। पर पंजाबी वास्ते अभी स्पेशल कैश प्राइज रखे हैं, हर बच्चा जो भी पंजाबी बोलेगा उन्होंने $10 कैश प्राइज मिलेगा। पर जी जजमेंट है वो बिल्कुल निरोल होगी, इंग्लिश हो चाहे इंग्लिश हो, उसे पूरे कंटेंट बुक के हिसाब से किवें बोल रहा बच्चा, वो किहो जे जेस्चर मूवमेंट ने किहो जे आई कॉन्टैक्ट है, सारी जजिस को पता ही है सारी इंस्ट्रक्शंस का। ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਦਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਨ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਪਹਿਲੇ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਨੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ 6 ਤੋਂ 7 ਸਾਲ 6 ਤੋਂ 8 ਸਾਲ ਦੀ ਉਮਰ ਦੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੇ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬੁੱਕ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਗਈ ਸੀ ਮਾਈ ਗੁਰੂ ਬਲੈਸਿੰਗ ਬੁੱਕ ਨੰਬਰ 3, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਿ ਸਰਦਾਰ ਦਲਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਦੀ ਲਿਖੀ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ, ਗਿਆਨ ਪਬਲਿਸ਼ਰ ਗਿਆਨ ਖੰਡ ਮੀਡੀਆ। ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਸਾਰੇ ਇੰਸਟਰਕਸ਼ਨ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਵੀ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ, ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਪੜ੍ਹੇ ਨੇ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ। So पहला क्वेश्चन है कि how does Gurbani help us in every life, in everyday life? Do you do path daily? What should we do that we are not bored by daily nickname? And दूसरा क्वेश्चन है how can we feel that Vaheguru Ji is close to us? Sorry, with glasses नहीं लगा। What happens if we forget to thank him for all we have forgotten from him? तीसरा क्वेश्चन, do you feel in fact like a butterfly in a bottle? How do the teachings in Gurudwara Sahib help you get free from that entrap? ਜਿਹੜੇ ਟਾਈਮ ਕੀਪਰ ਪ੍ਰੀਤੀ ਭੈਣ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰੇ ਇੰਸਟਰਕਸ਼ਨ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਟਾਈਮ ਦੀਆਂ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ। ਬੱਚੇ ਧਿਆਨ ਨਾਲ ਪ੍ਰੀਤੀ ਆਂਟੀ ਨੂੰ ਸੁਣਨਾ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜੱਜ ਟਾਈਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਦੇਖੋ।
Okay, first group, you are allotted 5 minutes. Okay, so while you're speaking, your green light will be on, and you have a grace period of 30 seconds. 30 seconds that are left, like at 4 minutes and 30 seconds, your light is going to turn yellow. If it turns yellow. Okay, that. Can you see it?
Yes.
That means you have 30 seconds left. Yes? When your 30 seconds are up, it's going to turn red. Red means that you are now going over your time. So for every 10 seconds that you go over, the judges will take 1 point away. Each judge will take 1 point away for every 10 seconds. Okay? Everybody get that?
Yes.
Okay, judges ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ sheet ਤੇ
5 minutes, then you have 30 minutes grace period.
After 5 seconds.
5 minutes and 30 seconds, and then you get the 10.
The time countdown shall begin as soon as the speaker finishes reading the satsang with Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. 1 minute before expiry or allotted time, this is optional. Okay, I'm not going to do that. The end of the allotted time, the red light will go on, signifies the speaker is on a grace period, and this will go off after 5 seconds. Half a minute after expiry, okay, my fault. So let me say that again. So green light means that you're good to go, right?
Yellow brushstroke.
Okay, this is a complicated time. Alright, so green means you're good to go. After 5 minutes, it's going to turn red. You have 30 seconds after that. Grace period of 30 seconds. After that, your light will go off, which means that you have passed your 30-second grace period. After your grace period, after every 10 seconds that you go over, 1 point will be deducted. Is that clear? Okay, so 5 minutes plus 30-second grace period. After that, your points will be taken away. So you see the red light, you start putting it all together and finishing it. Okay? Everybody's okay with this? No. Okay, so red is not good. You don't want to get for red light, right? Green is good. Green is go. Red means no. We got to stop. Yes? Is that clear now? Okay, good. Good luck to all of you. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Okay, ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਮ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਵੀ ਕੈਟਾਗਰੀ ਜੋ ਫਸਟ ਕੈਟਾਗਰੀ ਦੇ 3 ਬੱਚੇ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਮ ਲਿਖੇ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾ ਬੱਚੇ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਕਢਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਫਿਰ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਬੱਚਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਉਹ ਚੁਣਦਾ निरंजन जोत सिंह
सेवा करिए ता तन सब जाए, सिमरन करिए ता मन सब जाए। कितनी मिट्टी है गुरु दी वाणी, अमल करिए ता जिंदगी सवर जाए। गुरु प्यारे साध संगत जी, गुरु पते समझी करो। वाहेगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहेगुरु जी की फतेह। I am Niranjan Jot Singh. Today I will be discussing the third book of my Guru's lessons. Let's discuss the first question. Gurbani helps me in my everyday life to be an honest, sincere, and helpful brother, friend, and student. For example, when sometimes friends and siblings argue or fight over issues, Gurbani guides us to control our anger and talk our differences out. Gur mere sang sada hinale, simar simar tis sada samale. Every morning on my way to school, I do Japji Satya with my brother. So far, I have learned 7 40s by heart, and I am working on the 8th 40. When both of us say parts together, it becomes interesting and fun, and I feel good all day. Let's discuss the second question. Vaheguru Ji is always close to us. When we say Vaheguru Ji or do Path, we feel it in our heart. All of us are His creations, and He resides within us. Just like we need to nurse our body, we need Gurbani's guidance in choosing the friends and to be good human beings in general. Nanak Nirgun Guru Kare, Guru Bhaktya, Guru Gaya. If we forget to thank Vaheguruji and don't follow Guruji's teachings, we will become sad. We should always keep Vaheguruji in our heart and thank him for taking care of us, keeping us safe, and providing us with everything that we need. Let's discuss the third question. Sometimes we feel like a trapped butterfly. Do you know that happens? It happens when we make the wrong choices, like telling a lie or choosing bad kids as our friends who land us in trouble. When we want to be free from this, Gurbani guides us to choose the right from wrong. Foolen Mon, जिन्हें बताया ऐसा गुरबत पागी पाया. Going to the Gurdwara helps us worship Vaheguruji in the warmth of in the company of our friends and family. We feel surrounded by the warmth of Sangat who love Vaheguruji just like we do. By following the teachings of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, we will become honest, truthful, and righteous. हम मेले तो ऊंचो करते, हम निर्गुण तो दाता, हम मूर्ख तो चतुर सियाने, तू सर्व कला का ज्ञाता. वाहेगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहेगुरु जी की फतेह.
निरंजन जोत सिंह बोल के गया. जजेस अपनी शीट से क्लीयर कर लेना. ते एक अनाउंसमेंट हो गई थी बच्चों के ਜਿਹੜੇ फर्स्ट ग्रुप के जजेस ने वो ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਜੈਕਾਰਾ ਬੁਲਾਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ. सरदार मनविंदर सिंह जी, खालसा वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह. दूसरे जज ने सरदारनी जसपिंदर कौर. वाहिगुरू जी का खालसा वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह. तीसरे जज इस कैटेगरी से सरदारनी नवनीत कौर. वाहिगुरू जी का खालसा वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह. जजिस सेकंड बच्चा मनजोत कौर आ रही है, अपनी शीट से क्लियर कर लेना.
गुरुदिया जोड़ी देश व्यक्ति साथ संगत जी गज के फतेह बड़ा. वाहेगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहेगुरु जी की फतेह. The theme of Guru present book is Gurban. Gurban helps guide us in our everyday lives and help us understand how Vaheguਰੂ ji wants us to live. Gurban teaches us not to fight with others, to always tell the truth. As the man wanted to know what the path, but makes me feel happy when I start my day. I am trying to learn more practice of chapters I have too. My goal is to be able to recite chapters I will soon. My part every day will help us gain an understanding of our Guruji's messages. When we start understanding the value of God, we will not be bored during daily life. Why would we carry the world around us that we see, but sometimes he seems so far away? We need to remember that Vaheguruji is always close to us. When we feel that Vaheguruji is far, we can read Gurbani to get close to him again. Guru Arjan Ji says, "Jab mere sang sada hamare, simar firate sada salale." We sometimes forget to thank Vaheguruji for everything he has given us. Every time Mata Dekho do our dance, we should tell Vaheguruji, "Thank you for blessing us with a roof over our head and clothes on our back and food on our table to eat." There are many people in the world who do not get to experience those luxuries. Come to Gurdwara and do seva or vow change and help any less fortunate is another way to say thank you to Waheguru. Khalsa Ji. Sometimes when things are not going away, we get caught up in our daily lives. We start to feel entrapped like a butterfly in a bottle. When we are trapped and unhappy, we need to be set free from the wrong thing. Gurbani helps us to do the right thing. If we follow the reminded teaching of remembering Waheguru, we will be set free. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
इसी मनजोत कौर ते लास्ट इस कैटेगरी का बच्चा है प्रभजोत सिंह।
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. In my Guru's blessing book 3 by Jagjit Singh Sahib. The theme is Gurbani. Gurbani is Waheguru Ji's word. Gurbani helps us stay on the right path. Waheguru Ji wants us to be true and faithful every day. And by listening to and receiving Gurbani, Waheguru Ji teaches us how to be a true Sikh. I do Mool Mantra every morning, which helps me start every day. With Waheguru Ji's blessings, I'm also learning all about Japji Sahib too. While we do Path, we should not think about anything else, anything other than Waheguru Ji. When we start to understand what Waheguru Ji is telling us, then we will not be bored while doing Path. When I look outside, I see Waheguru Ji. When I look anywhere, I see Waheguru Ji. Waheguru Ji is everywhere, especially in here. If we ever feel that Waheguru Ji is far away, we need to remember what our Guru Granth Sahib Ji said. My Guru is always with me, near at hand. I meditate on him, I remember him, I will forever be dear to him. He will forever be dear to me. We sometimes forget to thank Waheguru Ji even after everything he has given us. Every time we thank and do a das, we need to ask Waheguru Ji to help us and keep us safe, but most importantly, we need to thank Waheguru Ji for everything he has given us. We can also thank Waheguru Ji by coming to the Gurdwara and doing seva or helping others in our community. Those who are not blessed as we are, sometimes when things do not go my way or there are a lot of things I have to do. I feel trapped like a butterfly in a bottle. The teaching in Gurdwara Sahib helps me get free from entrapment because of our Guru's word. I can come to Gurdwara and to listen to God and Kirtan and do stuff which makes me and Wahguruji happy. If we continue to follow what our Guru Granth Sahib Ji tells us, we will forever be free. Wahguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Wahguru Ji Ki Fateh.
सासनिधि के जजेस इस ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਡਾ ਫਸਟ ਕੈਟਾਗਰੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹ ਫਿਨਿਸ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਸੈਕੰਡ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਫਸਟ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਦਾ ਕੰਕਲੂਡ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਸੋਨੀਆ ਕੌਰ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਸ਼ੀਟਸ ਲੈ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਦੀਆਂ ਸ਼ੀਟਸ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਜੱਜੀ ਸਿਲੈਕਟ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ओके सेकंड कैटेगरी दी सेकंड ग्रुप ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਏਜ 9 ਤੋਂ 10 ਸਾਲ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਜੱਜਿਸ ਦੀ ਮੈਂ ਅਨਾਉਂਸਮੈਂਟ ਕਰਾਂਗੀ ਤੇ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਦਿਲਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਕੌਰ ਟੇਕ ਓਵਰ ਕਰੇਗੀ ਸਟੇਜ ਸੰਭਾਲਣ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਦਿਲਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਕੌਰ ਕਰੇਗੀ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਜੱਜਿਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਮ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਸਰਦਾਰ ਹਰਮੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਤੇ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਜੱਜ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਸਰਦਾਰਨੀ ਜਸਕਿੰਦਰ ਕੌਰ वाहिगुरू जी का खालसा वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह तीसरे जज दूसरे ग्रुप के तीसरे जज ने सरदारनी हरप्रीत कौर जी वाहिगुरू जी ते अगली बच्ची दिलप्रीत कौर इस तो बाद भी अनाउंसमेंट्स करेगी
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. The next contestant is Diya Kaur.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. I will be speaking from the book, My Guru's Blessings, Book 4, written by Ajit Singh Sidhu. God of Monkey Hall, Sabkuch Manga, There Dort, Nahi Plus Wanda. Meaning I'm like a child asking Guruji for everything.
सॉरी जजेस ने थले स्क्रूल नहीं दिता गया बच्चे दी दोबारा शुरू करेंगे जजेस प्लीज सॉरी फॉर दैट दोबारा दिया शुरू करें
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. I will be speaking from the book, My Guru's Blessings, Book 4, written by Ajit Singh Sidhu. God of Monkey Hall, Sabkuch Manga, There Dort, Nahi Prab Ranga. Meaning I'm like a child that asks Guruji for everything. Waheguru gives us more than enough. Giving, caring, and powerful are only 3 words that describe our Guru. In the book, we see Guru's real intentions for our life. We are introduced to the keys for a happy life with the help of Wahguruji. Through his grace, he makes so of life. Bhagat Sheikh Farid Ji advises us to be happy with what we have. Wahguruji gives us just what we need. He wants us to work hard and stay honest to Wahguruji and ourselves. I know it is hard to be satisfied, but you have to practice what is right. There's a character in the book by the name of Henry Ford who practices to play the violin. I play volleyball, but I have to play hard and practice so I can continue to play and be a good player. YRG created us so we can learn new things. We have to practice to be successful and therefore be happy. हर दुहे दाता सबसगा सब जिए तुम्हारे सब तुसी नो अराधे दान दे पियारे. We should pray to YRG every day. Everyone usually prays for themselves and seldom for others. We are all YRG's children and we all worship YRG in love. We should pray for not only ourselves but for others during sickness and when they are in need. We should ask YRG for Sabbat Dabala. Let's pray for someone in need blessings today. We need Guruji's guidance to live a successful life because his body teaches us to forgive and get along with others. YRG has created us as a one-of-a-kind human being that is so pure against the sick. We are his masterpiece. He teaches us to never take something that doesn't belong to us. We should not lie and we should not disobey our elders. We know sometimes we feel like doing something wrong, but Guruji tells us to run away from evil and pray to him, and he will help us get out of the evil doings. In conclusion, tis Satgur Gavad Gun Hai Jin Agun Gat Guni Sanjaya. We need to keep YRG in our mind all the time. He's the one who can get us out of trouble and help us run from evil. He's the one we do not have to doubt. He helps us speak the truth. He wants us to be happy. We can be happy and worry-free by reciting his name every day. YRG ka Khalsa, YRG ki Fateh.
दिलप्रीत शुरू करने से पहले टाइम दी इंस्ट्रक्शंस. Can you do it or Sonia will do it?
6 minutes.
Alright, so that was Dia Carr. Can you guys quick questions? The time allotted for this group is 6 minutes, and they had 3 questions. First one is, what advice does Bhagat Ji give us for living a happy life? How does this advice help us? Second one is, where did our Guruji get the strength to help the suffering world? What should we do when we face problems ourselves or see others in a similar situation? And number 3, why do we need Guruji's guidance to live a successful life? How do the stories of Guruji's life and of elders help us? The time allotted is 6 minutes. Next up is Hannah Carr.
वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह. मेरे पहले सवाल का जवाब है, बाबा फरीद जी कहते हैं निबड़ सो अखर खवन गुण जैबा मणिया मन एतरे पैने वेस कर तावा सारे कान. जो मनुख निमरता माफी अते मिठा बोलन दे गुण धर्म कर लैंदा है ਉਹ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਨੇੜੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ. ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਦਾ ਮਾੜਾ ਕਰੀਏ ਜਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੇ ਵੀ ਬਾਰੇ ਮਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੁਰੇ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਰੱਖੀਏ. ਬਾਬਾ ਫਰੀਦ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਇਹ ਸਲਾਹ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਜੇ ਨਾਲ ਮਿਲ ਜੁਲ ਕੇ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਸਿਖਾਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ. ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਬੁਰਾ ਵਰਤਾਓ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਉਸ ਨਾਲ ਮਾੜਾ ਵਰਤਾਓ ਕਰਨ ਤੋਂ ਰੋਕਦੀ ਹੈ. ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਇਹ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਾਫ ਕਰਨ ਅਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਲਈ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਅੱਗੇ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਸਲਾਹ ਦਿੰਦੀ ਹੈ. ਮੇਰੇ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਸਵਾਲ ਦਾ ਜਵਾਬ ਹੈ, ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਤਖਤ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖਣ, ਉਸ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਕਰਨ ਅਤੇ ਉਸ ਅੱਗੇ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਰਨ ਨਾਲ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਹੈ. ਜਿਵੇਂ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਹਾ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ, ਜਾਂ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਲ ਹੋਵੇ ਅਤ ਭਾਰੀ ਹਰ ਕੋ ਨਾਨਕੇ ਮਾਹੀ ਉਤਾਰੀ. ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਂ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਨੂੰ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਿਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਤੇ ਭਰੋਸਾ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ ਅਤੇ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਅੱਗੇ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਰਨੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਹੀ ਰਸਤਾ ਦਿਖਾਉਣ ਅਤੇ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਿਲਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਾਹਮਣਾ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਬਲ ਬਖਸ਼ਣ। ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਤੇ ਭਰੋਸਾ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਸਾਡੀ ਸਹਾਇਤਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਨ। ਮੇਰੇ ਤੀਸਰੇ ਸਵਾਲ ਦਾ ਜਵਾਬ ਹੈ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਜੀਵਨ ਆਪਣੀ ਮੱਤ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਉਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਮਨ ਮੱਤ ਵੱਲ ਤੁਰ ਪੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜੀਵਨ ਗੁਰਮਤਿ ਦੇ ਅਧੀਨ ਜਿਉਣਾ ਸਿਖਾਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ। ਗੁਰੂ ਅਤੇ ਵੱਡਿਆਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਕਹਾਣੀਆਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਮਹਾਨਤਾ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝਣ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਦਦ ਕਰਦੀਆਂ ਹਨ। ਗੁਰੂ ਬਾਣੀਆਂ ਕਹਾਣੀਆਂ ਪੁੱਤ ਸਪੁੱਤ ਕਰਨ ਭਾਵ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਦੀਆਂ ਕਹਾਣੀਆਂ ਇੱਕ ਸਿੱਖ ਨੂੰ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਬਣਾ ਸਕਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਕਹਾਣੀਆਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਰ ਕਿਸਮ ਦੀਆਂ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਲਾਂ ਦਾ ਹੱਲ ਛੁਪਿਆ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਕਹਾਣੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਹਰ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਮਾੜੀਆਂ ਆਦਤਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਸਾਵਧਾਨ ਕਰਦੀਆਂ ਹਨ ਅਤੇ ਜਿਉਣ ਦਾ ਸਹੀ ਰਾਹ ਦੱਸਦੀਆਂ ਹਨ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
Thank you, Hannah. Next up is Simmer Kaur.
सत्कारयोग साध संगत जी, गुरुओं ने बख्शे हुए फतेह प्रदान करने। वाहिगुरू जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह। Today I'm going to discuss my thoughts about the book I read, My Guru's Blessings, written by the Singh Sidhu. The main characters of this book, Harnoor Kaur and Kabir Singh, are like any kids sitting in front of me or anyone out there. There were so many chapters of this book that I felt they are talking about me and my sisters. After reading this book, I realized that the many different teachings of this book are the same as what my grandmother always tells me. She always asks me to pray and learn to forgive my sisters or any of my friends who hurt my feelings, but I could never make myself strong enough to do that. This book helped me, gave me the courage and strength to forgive, and taught me not to do anything that might hurt others as well. Sad Sangat Ji, we all live a life that Vaiguru Ji gave us. To live this life happily, harmony with nature, and live as per Vaiguru's will, He provided us Guru Granth Sahib Ji, which includes teachings from all the Gurus and Bhagats. Even though all Gurus' Banis teach us how to live this life happily, I am asked to discuss Baba Sheikh Farid Ji's advice. His basic teaching is, Nivan su akhar, kavan good, jeba maniya mand, by wearing the robes of humbleness, forgiveness, and sweet fruit, we get closer to Vaiguru Ji. In this human life, it is very hard to practice forgiveness. I remember when my little sister was 2 years old. She was my favorite storybook of my toddler while playing with it. I got so mad and angry that I felt like I should have written something of her favorite. Then my grandmother asked me to pray to Babaji to give her knowledge and ability to understand not to do that ever again. Then I also prayed for myself to give me strength to forgive her. This incident helped me to learn how to forgive others, even though forgiving someone is not that easy. But if we practice it all the time, it will become our habit. Like there is also a saying, practice makes a man perfect. Vaiguru Ji doesn't want us to keep anything in our hearts that could hurt us or anyone else. We must always pray to the Almighty so He can give us strength and courage to do good deeds. Sad Sangat Ji, non-sinning is the most powerful strength to do good deeds. We should always remember, Sukh Vele Shukrana, Dukh Vele Ardas, Tihar Vele Simran. Everyone in this world is suffering from one thing or the other. Sufferings come from expectations or desires. Only when we desire something that is not ours, we make ourselves to a point where we lie, steal, or violate other people's rights to acquire it. Guru Granth Sahib Ji tells us to run away from the evil and always do good deeds. Vaheguru always teaches us to find happiness in what we have. My mother always teaches me not to feel jealous or left behind by looking at others. To overcome this greedy nature, we need Vaheguru's Naam. Guru Arjan Dev Ji said, "Ja mushkil ho gaya jagari, har ko naam khin mahi udari." Naam Simran helps us to stay strong, maintain our faith in Vaheguru, and give us strength to fight with evil. And it is only Vaheguru's Naam Simran that gave us strength to overcome this basic instinct greed. Exceeded greed over time can lead to contempt in life. Sometimes we feel that Vaheguru is not fair to us about some outcome or result. However, later in the future, we do realize that that was the correct decision and was in our best interest, which can only happen when we are connected to the Almighty. Guru Amar Das Ji also states, "Tis Satgut Gau Vat Pun Hai, Jin Arkan Gat Guni Sanjaya." If we pray to Vaheguru more for others than for ourselves, especially for those who are suffering and needy, not only does it help us to feel better about our well-being, but also give confidence to others. Binti Kadinam Hove Jin Ki Ardas, Nanak Gur Govind Ka Govind Gurdas. Guru Ji taught us if you are humble and pray to the Lord, your prayer will not be in vain. A true Sikh always helps and prays for others. Most important of praying is not only pray for yourself, but for everyone in this world. That's why at the end of our ardas, we always say, Nanak Naam Chardi Kala, Tere Bani Sarvata Kala. Sad Sangati, we all learn something every day during our lives. What we learn depends on our teachers, parents, or whoever we admire. Gurbani is the only way of a happy, successful life. We are always supposed to follow Guruji and Gurbani. Every single shabad of Guru Granth Sahib Ji is true. We can never come out of dilemma if we don't trust Gurbani. Guruji's main teachings: speak truth, help needy, forgive everyone, stay away from the evil, live humbly, practice good deeds, and sweet speech give us direction of living a happy, successful life. By following Guru's lives and their teachings, we can succeed in our lives. Sad Sangati, let's change our lives as per Guruji's direction by reading books like this one, and by listening to stories of Gurus from our parents or elders. As Guruji said, Rabaniyan Kahaniyan Vatsavat Karen. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Thank you, Simmer. Next up is Kabir Singh.
सतगुरु आयो सरल तुम्हारी, मिले सुख नाम हर शोभा, चिंता लाहे हमारी। गुरु रूप साध संगत जी, गुरफतेह संजी करो। वाहेगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहेगुरु जी की फतेह। I am Kabir Singh, and I will be discussing my Guru's blessings before with you, written by Sardar Daljit Singh. Let's discuss the first question. Bhagat Sheikh Farid Ji tells us that Vaheguru Ji will be close to us if we wear the robes of humbleness, forgiveness, and sweet speech. Vaheguru Ji does not want us to harbor any bad feelings towards people who do something bad to us. Once my friend broke my favorite game and it made me feel very bad. But my mom told me not to get mad, as it might have been an accident. I forgave him. Nanak Fikka Boliye, Tadhuman Fikka Hoy. To speak nicely is another important aspect. When we are talking to someone or when we are playing with friends, we love to laugh and have fun. It is very important to speak nicely to each other, to be honest, and to always tell the truth. Being humble and to be thankful for what we have is another advice by Sheikh Farid Ji. Vaheguru Ji wants us to be happy with what we have. If we are looking for more stuff, we will never be happy. Vaheguru Ji, please bless us so that we can work hard and become humble. Let's discuss the second question. Our gurus helped the whole world and took them out of their sufferings. From where did they get all that strength? They got all that strength from keeping faith in Waheguru. He showed them the path. All of us face problems in our daily life. Even though we do Nityanam and follow the teachings of Guru Vani, our gurus never said we will face hardships. However, it's our deep faith in Guru Vani that gives us the strength to overcome all obstacles. Jiske sir upar Swami so dukh kaisa paave. Prayer has eternal power. I pray for my family and friends and it makes me feel good. We do Ardas every day and ask Waheguru for Sarvata Phala, and our prayers are answered. Let's discuss the third question. We need our Guruji's guidance to lead a successful life. Kabir har ka simran jo kare, so sukhiya sansar, it utkate na dole, jisa khe sirchanhar. Guru Vani tells us to never doubt Waheguru. It is a lighthouse for us in the dark sea of life. Guru Vani removes all negative thoughts from our minds and fills it with virtues. We must follow the teachings of Guru Vani to keep our soul pure and lead a happy life. Babaniya, Kahaniya, Butsta Karen. Our history is our teacher. When my grandparents told me stories about their childhood, or when they tell me stories of our gurus and Sikh warriors, my mind fills with astonishment and pride. Those stories encourage me to follow the guidelines of my elders and to follow my eternal guide, Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Hukme under sabako, par hukum na koi, nanak hukme je buje, ta home kehu na koi. Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji ki Fateh.
Thank you, Kabir. Next up is Jashan Singh.
No,
Said. Okay. Said.
Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji ਦੀ ਹਜ਼ੂਰੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਪਤੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਰੂਪ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਮ ਅਤੇ ਸਮਝ ਕਰੋ ਜੀ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। Today I'm here to discuss the book I read, My Guru's Blessings, written by Baljeet Singh. Answer to the first question. The author based the book on Baba Sheikh's Fleet's teachings and reference to his body to live a simple life. He advised us to pray for others, be appreciative, stay away from evil, think before you speak, and to be forgiving. Bina sadot nahi ko raja, meaning that without contentment, no one is satisfied. Baba Sheikh Fadi tells us to be happy with what we have because Waheguru Ji gives us everything we need, from food to water to shelter. But we must keep in mind that the most important thing that He has given us is life. Frida Bida de Palakar Gosa Mangane Handai. Devi Rog Ne Lage Pale Sab Kushpar. Sheikh Fadi advises us to overcome worldly temptations and remain devoted to God. He told us about the false attractions of the world and how we can easily be wasteful and seem unworthy. Answer to the second question. Guruji found strength to help us through suffering from our Guruji by meditating and converting what he learns and is told into Guru Granth Sahib. We get through suffering in the same way, through prayer. It is important to keep faith in Waheguru and call on his name to show us the right path. The whole world is overflowing in pain and suffering, but remembering Waheguru in meditation, we are given the strength to overcome this pain. It is inevitable that we will always have obstacles to face no matter what we do. Waheguru never promised us that there would never be problems, but he did promise to help us when we need him. The most important part in facing these problems is to prayer. Simon Supave. Often we pray for ourselves, but we are also taught to pray for others when they are in need. There is no doubt that there is unlimited power in thoughts, as the Vibani are the truthful words of Waheguru. We can all lose faith in him, as he will carry us through life from the lows to the highs. Virti karan hobe janki ardas, nanak jur govind kapuran gundas. Waheguru Ji, I do not ask you to make my life easier, but I ask you to give me the strength to face these problems. And please show me the right path. Je mushkil hobe atbari, har ko naam kin mohe udari. Answer to the third question. Guruji's guidance helps us build a successful life because he tells us to focus on the positive parts of life and not the negative. He says to be appreciative of what you have and work hard for it instead of always worrying about what you want. He doesn't want us to worry about our external appearance, but instead the pureness of our soul and not letting it become full of evil. He tells us to be forgiving even when we want to do vengeful and do something evil, as that will only hold you back from growing and being happy. Guruji's stories are passed down through not only the Guru Granth Sahib, but also through our elders and their elders, and so on. We learn about greatness of Waheguru and all that has been done for Sikhi throughout these stories. Waheguru wants us to learn this way, as we can then keep passing on the value of Sikh so it cannot be lost. Let us thank Waheguru Ji for giving us Guru Nanak and his teachings, which will help us through life and take us to Waheguru Ji. Bol chuk maaf karni, Waheguru Ji ka khalsa, Waheguru Ji ki fateh. I also want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers.
Thank you, Saj. Next up is Ronak Singh.
He's from the next group.
This is group 2.
Oh,
This is 9 to 10.
Yeah.
My name is Ronak Singh Pastana, and today I stand before you to speak about Gurbani and how it helps us in our daily life. Gurbani means the word of the Guru. When we read Gurbani, we learn to pray. Baba Farid teaches us to be humble and show compassion to the downtrodden and poor. He encourages us to be honest, patient, and have faith in God. He says, Farid, answer evil with goodness, do not fill your mind with anger, your body will not suffer from any disease, and you shall obtain everything. When we face a problem, we should keep our faith and pray. We should also pray for the sick. We can improve our life by saying things that are kind. By learning from Gurbani, can we lead a happy life? Thank you. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Thank you, Ronak. Next up is Chetas Kaur.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Baba Farid Singh Ji says that if someone does anything bad to us, don't do anything bad to them. He told us that don't do anything to the person in front of Waheguru Ji, or else for him or her to make them more nicer. Number 2. If we see ourselves or someone else in trouble, we should do our best for that person and help them from trouble. And Wahguruji promises to help Wahguruji promises us that help us. Though, number 3, those stories helped us live life. When we face those kinds of problems in our life, those stories will help us understand why Guruji wants us to tell these stories to everyone, to help them learn and lead and right choices, and learn about what is right for and what is wrong. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Thank you, Jesus. Next up is Heart Fearing God. Alright, that was the end of group 2. Now group 3 is going to be so group 3 is ages 11 to 13, and they have 6 minutes to complete their speech. The questions are okay, I have to do it. Alright, so the timing is your lamp, the light will be green, which is your 6 minutes, and you have a 30-second grace period, and the light will turn red. After that, the light will turn off, and every 10 seconds after the light is turned off, 1 point will be deducted from your score. So the 3 questions for group 3 are: describe the character of the Khalsa generals. How did they differ from the rulers of the time? What were the aims of Khalsa generals and how did they achieve those? Number 2, describe the great qualities and the weaknesses of Maharaja Ranjit Singh Ji. Number 3, describe the role women played in Sikh struggle to free Punjab of foreign rule. First up is Gurnar Singh.
गुरु प्यारी साध संगत जी फतेह का जवाब फतेह विच देना। वाहिगुरू जी का खालसा वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह। पहला सवाल 18वीं सदी विच सिख जरनैलां ने सिख कौम दी अते देश की बहुत सेवा की अते देश विच शांति ते खुशी लिआंदी। सिख जरनैल बहुत बहादुर, लड़ाई दी कला दे माहर अते सूझवान सन। सिख जरनैल ईमानदार सन, पैसे दे लालची नहीं सन अते ओह सारे धर्मां दे लोकां नूं बराबर समझदे सन। दूजे पासे उस समय के मुसलमान शासक लालची, जालिम, पक्षपाती अते लोकां नूं जबरदस्ती मुसलमान बनन लई मजबूर करदे सन। खालसा जरनैल दे मुख उपदेश जमीन अते स्वैमान दी मांग की। बंदा सिंह बहादुर ने किसानां नूं जमीन दी मालक बनन अते स्वैमान नाल जिउण दी खुल दित्ती। बाबा जी ने जालिम शासकां दा नाश कीता अते लोकां नूं हुकूमत दी। लोकराज नवाब कपूर सिंह ने पंजाब के लोगों को लोक राज देन अते उन्हां विच लोक राज की भावना मजबूत करन लई बहुत काम किया। उसने लोगों को एकजुट करन लई संचार लिंक तैयार किए, जिसके सदका सिखां अते आम जनता विच मजबूत संबंध बने। निर्दोषां नूं जालिम सरकार अते हमलावरां तो बचाना। पश्चिम के हमलावर लोगों के देशक सन, ਉਹ ਔਰਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਬਰਦਸਤੀ ਚੱਕ ਕੇ ਲੈ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਸਨ। ਦਿੱਲੀ ਅਤੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਸ਼ਾਸਕ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਰਾਖੀ ਕਰਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸਫਲ ਸਨ। ਨਵਾਬ ਕਪੂਰ ਸਿੰਘ, ਸਰਦਾਰ ਜੱਸਾ ਸਿੰਘ ਅਲੂਵਾਲੀਆ ਅਤੇ ਸਰਦਾਰ ਜੱਸਾ ਸਿੰਘ ਰਾਮਗੜੀਆ ਨੇ ਬੇਕਸੂਰ ਹਿੰਦੂ ਅਤੇ ਮੁਸਲਮਾਨਾਂ ਔਰਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਹਮਲਾਵਰਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਬਚਾਇਆ। ਸ਼ਾਂਤੀ, ਇਨਸਾਫ ਅਤੇ ਨਿਆਂ। ਮਹਾਰਾਜਾ ਰਣਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਦੇ ਸਾਮਰਾਜ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਰਨੈਲ ਹਰੀ ਸਿੰਘ ਨਲਵਾ ਨੇ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਸਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਅਤੇ ਕਿਲੇ ਬਣਾਏ। ਖਾਲਸਾ ਜਰਨੈਲਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਰਾਜ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੁਸਲਮਾਨਾਂ ਸਮੇਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਾਂਤੀ, ਇਨਸਾਫ ਅਤੇ ਨਿਆਂ ਪ੍ਰਦਾਨ ਕੀਤਾ। ਸਥਾਨਕ ਪ੍ਰਸ਼ਾਸਨ ਲਈ ਪਿੰਡਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੰਚਾਇਤ ਦੀ ਸਥਾਪਨਾ ਕੀਤੀ ਗਈ। ਦੂਜਾ ਸਵਾਲ, ਮਹਾਰਾਜਾ ਰਣਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਇੱਕ ਮਹਾਨ ਸ਼ਾਸਕ ਅਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਸ਼ਾਨਦਾਰ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਸੀ। ਉਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਚੰਗੇ ਗੁਣ ਅਤੇ ਕੁਝ ਖਾਮੀਆਂ ਸਨ। ਗੁਣ, ਬਹਾਦਰੀ। ਮਹਾਰਾਜਾ ਰਣਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਇੱਕ ਨੀਡਰ ਸਿਪਾਹੀ ਸੀ ਅਤੇ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ੇਰੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਨਾਮ ਨਾਲ ਜਾਣਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਬਹਾਦਰ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਲਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਸੂਝਵਾਨ ਲੀਡਰ ਵੀ ਸੀ। ਆਪਣੀ ਜਵਾਨੀ ਦੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਉਹ ਆਮ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਫੌਜ ਦੀ ਅਗਵਾਈ ਆਪ ਹੀ ਕਰਦਾ ਸੀ। ਬੁੱਧੀਮਾਨ ਅਤੇ ਦੂਰਦਰਸ਼ੀ। ਛੋਟੀ ਉਮਰੇ ਹੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜਾ ਰਣਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਨੇ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਕਮਾਨ ਦੇ ਥੱਲੇ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਸਮਝੀ। ਉਸਨੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਫੌਜ ਨੂੰ ਯੁੱਧ ਦੀ ਪੱਛਮੀ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਸਿਖਾਏ। ਆਪਣੇ ਰਾਜ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਦਭਾਵਨਾ ਕਾਇਮ ਰੱਖਣ ਲਈ ਮਹਾਰਾਜਾ ਰਣਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਨੇ ਹਿੰਦੂ ਅਤੇ ਮੁਸਲਮਾਨ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੀ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ਾਮਲ ਕੀਤਾ। ਧਰਮ ਨਿਰਪੱਖ। ਮਹਾਰਾਜਾ ਰਣਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਸਾਰੇ ਧਰਮਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਤਿਕਾਰ ਕਰਦਾ ਸੀ। ਉਸ ਦੀ ਫੌਜ ਅਤੇ ਪ੍ਰਸ਼ਾਸਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਰੇਕ ਧਰਮ ਦੇ ਲੋਕ ਸਨ ਅਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਧਰਮ ਨੂੰ ਮੰਨਣ ਦੀ ਆਜ਼ਾਦੀ ਦਿੱਤੀ। ਉਦਾਰ ਸ਼ਾਸਕ। ਮਹਾਰਾਜਾ ਰਣਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਹਾਰੇ ਹੋਏ ਦੁਸ਼ਮਣਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਜਗੀਰਾਂ ਦਿੱਤੀਆਂ ਅਤੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਇੱਕੋ ਜਿਹਾ ਸਲੂਕ ਕੀਤਾ। ਕਮਜ਼ੋਰੀਆਂ। ਮਹਾਰਾਜਾ ਰਣਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਅਫੀਮ ਖਾਨ, ਸ਼ਰਾਬ ਪੀਣ ਅਤੇ ਨਾਚ ਗਾਣਾ ਦੇਖਣ ਦਾ ਆਦੀ ਸੀ। ਉਹ ਅਕਸਰ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੇ ਮੌਕੇ ਤੇ ਬੁਰਾ ਵਰਤਾਵ ਕਰਦਾ ਸੀ। ਮਹਾਰਾਜਾ ਰਣਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਲਾਇਲਾਗ ਬਣ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ। ਡੋਗਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ, ਜੋ ਕਿ ਸਿੱਖ ਰਾਜ ਦੇ ਗੱਦਾਰ ਸੀ, ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਅਧਿਕਾਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀ, ਜੋ ਸਿੱਖ ਰਾਜ ਦੇ ਪਤਨ ਦਾ ਕਾਰਨ ਬਣਿਆ। ਤੀਜਾ ਸਵਾਲ, ਬੀਬੀ ਸਦਾ ਕੌਰ ਕਨਈਆ ਮਿਸਲ ਦੇ ਸਰਦਾਰ ਜੈ ਸਿੰਘ ਦੀ ਨੂੰਹ ਸੀ। ਉਸ ਸਮੇਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਮਿਸਲਾਂ ਦੀ ਆਪਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੜਾਈ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ ਸੀ। ਕਨਈਆ ਮਿਸਲ ਅਤੇ ਸ਼ੁਕਰ ਚੱਕੀਆ ਮਿਸਲ ਦੀ ਆਪਸੀ ਲੜਾਈ ਦੌਰਾਨ ਸਦਾ ਕੌਰ ਦੇ ਪਤੀ ਦੀ ਮੌਤ ਹੋ ਗਈ। ਸਦਾ ਕੌਰ ਨੇ ਮਿਸਲਾਂ ਦੀ ਲੜਾਈ ਖਤਮ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਅਤੇ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਏਕਤਾ ਕਾਇਮ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਆਪਣੀ ਬੇਟੀ ਦਾ ਵਿਆਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਤੀ ਦੇ ਕਾਤਲ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਹਾਰਾਜਾ ਰਣਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਨਾਲ ਕੀਤਾ। ਇਹ ਸਿੱਖ ਰਾਜ ਦੀ ਨੀਂਹ ਬਣਨ ਲਈ ਸਦਾ ਕੌਰ ਦੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੀ ਕੁਰਬਾਨੀ ਸੀ। ਬੀਬੀ ਹਰਸ਼ਰਨ ਕੌਰ। ਮਹਾਰਾਜਾ ਰਣਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਦੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਰਾਜ ਨੂੰ ਕਾਇਮ ਰੱਖਣ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੀਬੀ ਹਰਸ਼ਰਨ ਕੌਰ ਦਾ ਵੱਡਾ ਹੱਥ ਸੀ। 1837 ਵਿੱਚ ਅਫਗਾਨੀ ਹਮਲਾਵਰਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਾਬੁਲ ਦੇ ਰਾਜੇ ਹੇਠ ਜਮਰਾਤ ਤੇ ਹਮਲਾ ਕੀਤਾ। ਮਹਾ ਸਿੰਘ ਅਤੇ ਉਸ ਦੀਆਂ ਫੌਜਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਲੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਘੇਰਾ ਪੈ ਗਿਆ। ਬੀਬੀ ਹਰਸ਼ਰਨ ਕੌਰ ਨੇ ਇਸ ਹਮਲੇ ਦੀ ਖਬਰ ਪ੍ਰਸ਼ਾਰ ਤੱਕ ਪਹੁੰਚਾਉਣ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਮੇਵਾਰੀ ਲਈ। ਸਿੱਖ ਫੌਜਾਂ ਦੇ ਜਮਰਾਤ ਪਹੁੰਚਣ ਨਾਲ ਦੁਸ਼ਮਣ ਨੂੰ ਹਾਰ ਦਾ ਸਾਹਮਣਾ ਕਰਨਾ ਪਿਆ। ਬੀਬੀ ਹਰਸ਼ਰਨ ਕੌਰ ਦੀ ਬਹਾਦਰੀ ਕਰਕੇ ਪ੍ਰਸ਼ਾਰ ਸਿੱਖ ਰਾਜ ਦਾ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਬਣਿਆ ਰਿਹਾ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
Thank you, Gurnath. I forgot to announce the judges for this group. First judge is Sardar Manvinder Singh. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Second is Sardar Harmeet Singh. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. And the third judge is Sardar Jagdish Singh. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Next up is Ronak Singh.
Guru Ji ki Saad Sangat Ji, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Today I'm going to talk about the characters of Khalsa General. How did they differ from the rulers of the time? Aims of Khalsa General and how did they achieve those? They were brave and fearless, were great experts in the use of the sword and the art of war. Like lions, they would jump on the enemy. Like foxes, they would run away and get out of their reach. Their bodies were rock hard and in physical strength. They did not kill a woman, a child, or a coward running away from the fight. They committed no adultery, rather they respect the woman of even their enemies. They were kind and devoted, committed to their people, and possessed a keen sense of duty and responsibility. They brought peace and rule of justice to the state. They also held a meeting to make plans for future actions. They decided to appropriate government money and weapons in order to weaken the administration and to equip themselves to face the everyday attack. The able leadership of Jathedar Dabat Singh and Sardar Kapoor Singh strengthened the Khalsa and provided them with the confidence and the strength to destroy the foreign tyrants and establish self-rule. The great qualities and weaknesses of Maharaja Ranjit Singh Ji. Maharaja Ranjit Singh, known as the Lion of Punjab, was born at Gujranwala on November 13, 1780. Leadership qualities and fighting skills of Ranjit Singh helped him to achieve the cherished dream of the Khalsa. To the rulers of their state, Maharaja provided peace, justice, and order throughout his kingdom. Maharaja had delegated too much authority of the government to Dogras, who were insincere and disloyal to the Sikhs. He had appointed relatives of his cronies to important posts instead of selecting competent people. He had developed misunderstandings with his sons by listening to the misinformation given by the Dogras. Sikhs prevailed due to the added human power of their determined mothers, sisters, and wives, who in addition to their domestic roles became equally good at their plow and the swords in the absence of their men freedom fighters in the battlefield. Sikh history records the names of several women such as Mata Gadri, Mai Pagro, Mata Sundhi, Rani Sabkar, Rani Sadakar, and Marani Jinkar, who played important roles in the events of their time. Radha Khalsa, Radha
Thank you, Ronak. Next up is Atom Singh.
Respected Sad Sangha Ji and respected judges, in the presence of the Guru Granth Sahib Ji, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. My name is Uttam Singh hai. Today I will be talking about Khalsa generals. The many great Sikh generals have existed throughout the centuries, and along with them, the morals and ethics of the Sikh people. Every single Sikh general has had one goal: to bring peace to the land and to end oppression. This is what they differed from the other rulers at the time, where these rulers were strict, greedy, and oppressive. For example, one of these Sikh generals was Maharaja Ranjit Singh. He had many great qualities, but like everyone else, he had his weaknesses. An example of one of his great qualities was actually Hardar's nickname, the Lion of Punjab. When he was only 10 years old, he accompanied his father, Mahan Singh, in battle, when the Pathan attacked the young Ranjit Singh. But miraculously, Ranjit Singh managed to behead his opponent and save himself. Everyone who heard of this incident predicted that Ranjit Singh would become a great general. In another battle, Mahan Singh fell ill and gave the command to Ranjit Singh. Unfortunately, the illness was proved to be fatal. But before Mahan Singh's death, he heard of the leadership prowess, excellent fighting abilities, and victory of his son. In 1796, when Ranjit Singh was only 16 years old, the king of Afghanistan, Shah Zaman, attacked the state of Punjab and demanded Ranjit Singh to submit to him. But Ranjit Singh refused. Shah Zaman, enraged, attacked the Sikhs and was defeated. 2 years later, in 1798, he once again attacked the Sikhs and was once again defeated. At the age of 18, Ranjit Singh became a ruler of Punjab, and by the age of 21, he became the Maharaja. The Maharaja was extremely trusting, which can be a bad thing in some cases. He let the Dogras, who were insincere and disloyal to the Sikhs, have great authority in the government, and he let his cronies have high spots in the government. But this is the only notable weakness that the Maharaja possessed. The late Maharaja was a skilled warrior with military prowess, whose great qualities overpower his weaknesses. However, as the saying goes, behind every strong man is a strong woman, who may be potentially stronger than the strong man. The Sikh women were some of the strongest out there. In fact, there's so many strong Sikh women that I'm only going to focus on one, Sadapur. She was born into a ruling family in Punjab and later became the leader of the Kanai Misl. She was the mother-in-law, by his first wife, of Ranjit Singh. She was an excellent strategic commander and military mastermind. She and Ranjit Singh together brought the state of Punjab under the Sikh rule. In conclusion, we should remember the lives of these incredible men and women and always follow in their footsteps. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Thank you, Uttam. Next up is Sukhneet Kaur. No? Okay. Next up is Nihal Singh.
सूरा सौ पे चाहिए जो लड़े दिन के है पुरजा कट मरे कबूर ना शादे के वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह Guru Pyare Sat Sangat Ji te Judge Saiban. The topic that I will be covering in my speech today is about the Khalsa Generals, and I will be covering 3 questions that have been given to myself. Khalsa means pure and refined. Whoever adopts Khalsa becomes pure from their soul, high in character, and true in his words. This is what the Khalsa Generals displayed to all. The great generals of the Khalsa Panth exhibited good moral character. The reflection of their personality was such an inspiration that people of the time admired their generosity, kindness, purity, and spirituality. They were protectors of families in their time. They respected women of every caste and creed, and they were open to and respected all religions. The Khalsa generals were great warriors. They fought against tyranny. Guru Arjan Dev Ji sacrificed himself in order to save his religion. Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji saved the existence of another religion. Thus, Pita Guru Gobind Singh Ji sacrificed his whole family for the sake of protecting Sikhi at the time. Banda Bahadur gave a way of spirit of fighting against Zalim, which is further carried by millions of other Sikhs who came forward to demolish tyranny. Apart from this, the Khalsa generals are recognized as peaceful, loving, and religious-minded. They were also very skilled. The Khalsa generals were quite different from the rulers of their time. First of all, they were filled with the spirit of bravery and boldness. As compared to other rulers of the time, who were mostly cowards, they were heroes. Now moving on to my second point. Maharaja Ranjit Singh Ji, a great Maharaja of Punjab, was a warrior, a very wise administrator, and a great organizer. He stood forward to re-establish Punjab during the ages of disparity. He established a great empire under his crown, approaching from Afghanistan to modern Punjab territories. He was a very liberal king. He reunited his reign and went undercover even during the night to locate problems of his empire and his public. When he came across any problem, he tried to solve it in his court the very next day. When he came across any problem, that is why he is known to have brought justice. He fought many battles, and as mentioned earlier, he earned a vast empire. His grandfather, Charat Singh, and his father, Meher Singh, were also known for the great importance of their personalities. He inherited greatness from their blood. In spite of all his good qualities, he had a few weaknesses as well. For example, he was fond of wine. Apart from this weakness, he was an able king of Punjab and is known as Sher Punjab. It was only in his presence which kept the British away from acquiring Punjab at the earliest stages. After his death in 1839, in no more than 10 years, the British occupied Punjab. As Shah Muhammad, a great Punjab poet, has said, Shah Muhammad da ek sarkar bajo, fauja jit ke ant nu haryane. This means that during the Second Anglo-Sikh War, the Sikh army fought with bravery but lost the war due to the absence of Maharaja Ranjit Singh Ji. Sokyo manda akiye jit jamme rajan. Sat Singh Ji, you may have understood what my third topic is about after this quote. It is about the role of women. Women played a vital role in the Sikh struggle to free Punjab from the foreigners. The contribution of women, starting from Bibi Nanaki and ranging from Bibi Bani to Mata Sundariji, is of great importance. The study of the theory, Jinnah Karam Hai Sees Ditte, described how women had dedicated their lives to Guru Ki Seva, similar to how Bibi Bani Ji had done. During Guru Gobind Singh Ji's time, Mata Sundari and Mata Sahib Deva gave guidance and issued hukamnamas to the Khalsa during the most challenging times. My father commanded the Sikh generals during a period of crisis, so the role of women has always been shown to be pivotal. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Thank you, Nihal. Next up is Ethan Singh.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. My name is Ethan Singh Pastana, and I stand before you to speak about the Khalsa generals. The Khalsa generals were brave, strong, and worked hard to build the Sikh leadership during the 18th century. That is considered the golden period of the Sikh nation. The generals fought for the human rights for the helpless and made sacrifices for them. I would also like to say a few words about Maharaja Ranjit Singh, who is known as the Lion of Punjab. When he became the ruler of Lahore in 1801, he minted new coins as Nanak Shahi. These were distributed among the poor as a reminder of the Guru and his love for the needy. He was a just leader, and all people, whether Hindu or Muslim, loved him. He stood for peace and united Punjab and spread the word of Guru Nanak. Thank you. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Alright, thank you, Ethan. That was all of Group 3. Now, Group 4. Group 4 is ages 14 to 17. Your time allotted is 7 minutes. Do you know the timing? Yes. Okay. So, the judges for this group are Sardar Javdeep Singh, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Sardar Rajandeep Singh,
He's here.
Okay, and then Sardar Harmeet Singh. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So for this group, they had to read Baba Banda Singh Bahadur, and they had 3 questions. Number 1, discuss some noteworthy achievements of Baba Banda Singh Bahadur. Explain what you think was his most courageous act. Number 2, The book says that Baba Banda Singh Bahadur was a seasoned tactician. The Mughals who had petrified the whole of India would surrender before a small contingent of Babaji. Question. Analyze some of Baba Banda Singh Bahadur's tactical approaches and explain how these approaches helped him in his missions. Number 3. The Sikhs went through tremendous struggles, hardships, and sacrifices in maintaining their principles. As one of the many examples, a section on procession of arrested Sikhs in Delhi in the book is illustrated of their struggles and hardships. They still maintained steadfast faith in Sikhism. As explained in the book, there were thousands upon thousands of Sikhs who were brutally tortured and killed, but not even a single one of them wavered in his or her faith. In fact, they repeatedly spurned lucrative offers and enticements to renounce their faith and live a comfortable life. Question. What lies at the root of such invincible faith and fortitude? What lessons can we learn from the lives of those unwavering Sikhs that can help us in upholding Sikhi values in our own life and today's world? First up is Simran Kaur.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Courageous and giving. These are only 2 words to describe the emotional but brave journey that Baba Banda Singh Bahadur fought. He struggled so we can have a chance to show our faith and connect with our God, Waheguru. He is one of the unwavering Sikhs that continue to aid those of us today that are struggling to uphold our Sikhi values. My name is Simran Kaur, and I will be discussing the book Baba Banda Singh Bahadur, published by the Sikh Missionary College. Baba Banda Singh Bahadur has some noteworthy achievements. So to answer the first question, his achievements include fighting the Mughals until his very last breath, escaping to death from the Mughal army, fighting with so much courage that the news of his bravery for Sikhs reached the Mughal Empire very quickly, and his effort to abolish the Zamindari system. However, the achievement of Baba Banda Singh Bahadur that stood out to me the most is that he inspired many Hindus and Muslims to embrace Sikhism. He propagated his faith wherever he went. Apart from Hindus, many Muslims were inspired by him to change their religion and follow Sikhism. Strategy, in much simpler terms, is the high level of planning of a campaign or attack. Using military tactics was Bahadur Singh's strategy. His Mughal army was ready to perform a surprise attack at any time. He also adopted the vital principle of war, surprise flexibility, which led to the capture of Samana. And this city was very, very well guarded by the Mughal Empire. Banda's strategy was to reach Punjab after avoiding the dangers en route and mobilizing an army of volunteers, arming and training them in an impossibly short period of time. Sikhi Naam Jodi. Stay connected with Waheguru in the teachings of the Guru Granth Sahib. The strength and reassurance of God's love during life and afterlife is the root of inevitable faith. No matter how hard or how much the Sikh youth of today gets bashed on, we should remember the bigger picture. This is something that I can relate to. As a brown girl living in a community and going to a school where Christianity is the primary religion, jokes have surely been made about me and my faith. I believe the only way to get rid of the ignorance is to educate people and know the roots of our own faith. And this is what Bahadur Singh did. Yes, he used violence and he fought for Sikhism, but he also preached it and taught others about it, which ultimately resulted in thousands upon thousands of Muslims and Hindus becoming Sikhs. We should remember the hardships that significant heroes like Baba Banda Singh Bahadur has endured to make it possible for us to be able to gather here today. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Thank you, Simran. Next up is Gurulpur Kaur.
सुना तो पहचानिए जो लड़े भी इनके है, पुरजा कटने कभू न छोड़े खेत। गुरु रूप साथ संगत जी फतेह साझी करो। वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। My name is Guru Kaur, and today I will be discussing the book Baba Banda Singh Bahadur, written and published by the Sikh Missionary College. In answer to the first question, in 1708 at Nanded, Guru Gobind Singh Ji sent Baba Banda Singh Bahadur to Punjab, to put a stop to the oppression of the Sikh people by Mughal rulers and to punish the guilty. Babaji had many noteworthy achievements in his lifetime, the most important being his crusade to Punjab. He congregated his followers and began the journey of victories from Thanissar all the way to Sindh. Through these conquests, the foundation of the Khalsa Raj was laid, and Babaji's depiction as a leader who had the vision to expand and build the Sikh Raj was strengthened. Babaji was also the first ruler to abolish the feudal system of Jagirdari from the terrorists under his jurisdiction. He took away the land from the non-tilling rich people and gave it to the working hands. In addition to Babaji's military conquests, Baba Banda Singh Bahadur had an intense desire to preach the teachings of Sikhism, and many people from other religions converted to Sikhi in response to his courageous personality. In my opinion, Babaji's most courageous acts were exhibited on May 12, 1710, during the Battle of Chaturchudi against Wazir Khan, the ruler of Sindh. Although Khan's army was better equipped with cavalry and men, Baba Banda Singh Bahadur instilled a sense of courage, self-confidence, and faith in his soldiers that was unable to be hindered by even the largest armies. There were times where it seemed that the Muslims had an edge over the Sikhs, especially when Sucha Nand went back on his promise to help the Sikh army and took 1,000 of his soldiers over to the Mughals. It was at this point that Babaji came down and took command over his army. His entrance encouraged his soldiers to fight with all his might. Wazir Khan was killed and his army was defeated. The Khalsa army conquered Sindh and killed the courtiers who had voted for the execution of the Chote Sahibzade. In answer to the second question, Baba Banda Singh Bahadur was not only a brave commander, he was a seasoned tactician as well. The Mughals, who had petrified all of India, would surrender before even the smallest contingents of Babaji. He was a valiant Sikh who would defeat the might of the Mughal army, which was equipped with the latest weaponry and well-trained army of horsemen. Babaji adopted the vital principles of war, such as flexibility, surprise, concentration of force, and mobility. The town of Salama was greatly fortified. Every haveli was a fortress. Babaji planned to lie up at a distance, making the enemy think that the Sikhs lacked both the courage and willpower to attack. However, at night the Sikh force did a brilliant yet rapid approach and entered the town from all directions. Their actions were so swiftly executed that the Sikh army had penetrated the town before the next night fell. Thus, this battle exhibits the three main principles of war: surprise, mobility, and economy of force. Another battle at which Babaji exhibited the characteristics of both a great leader and a great tactician was at the Battle of Chaturchudi. Here he used concentration of force, flexibility, and agility. Babaji observed the battlefield from a high and prominent area. He kept in hand an elite reserve of warriors ready to attack at any given moment in even the most susceptible areas to secure a victory. In answer to the third question, Joto Prem Khelen Kachao, Sikh Gali Gali Moriao. These lines laid the foundation of Sikhism. They most aptly characterize the infallible devotion and faith of Khalsa and Waheguru. The firm and staunch belief in the true Guru helped all Sikh martyrs to bear the hardships inflicted upon them due to their unwillingness to surrender. Their endurance and resilient nature was the result of their deeply rooted faith. Guru Gobind Singh Ji infused the Khalsa with the spirit of fearlessness and the belief of their own invincibility. These attributes helped the Sikhs to stay rooted in their faith even while bearing the torture inflicted upon them by the Mughal Empire. The pain and suffering bared by our ancestors is unparalleled in our modern-day society. Yet still we should use them as examples on how to overcome our own hardships. Sikhs living under the rule of the Mughal Empire were oppressed and discriminated against. They were physically abused and tortured, yet still their faith did not falter. If they were strong enough to survive, we are too. We should pray for divine guidance from Guru Granth Sahib Ji and bear our problems with faith and fortitude. In our society today, Sikh people continue to be persecuted and discriminated against. When we face these hardships and see our people being killed for things, such as rain above, we must be undeterred and determined to live as bravely and as deeply in our faith as those who came before us. जब दोहा खून शहीदा दा तकदीर बदलदी कौमां दी रंडियां नाल ठोकर ले जांदे तकदीर बदलदी कौमां दी वाहिगुरू जी का खालसा वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह.
Thank you, Guru Ojol. That ends Group 4 speeches. Now, Group 5 is going to be a discussion, and the theme this year is Guruji's message in Asa Ki Baat. This body explains some of the most fundamental aspects of Sikhi, which bear upon important questions that Sikhs face today. An understanding of the concepts given in Asa Ki Baat can help us greatly in living a Gurmat-oriented life. The judges for this group are Sardarni Harpreet Kaur, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Sardar Harmeet Singh. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. And Sardar Jagdish Singh. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. And the content of the speech discussion, number 1, briefly mention some important messages contained in Asa Ki Baat. What is the most important message from Asa Ki Baat that you hope to put into practice in your own life? Why is it important for you to personally live by that message? Number 2, Guru Sahib often found inspiration and spiritual insights by looking towards creation to understand truth. Yet, the same creation is described as false. Is there a contradiction between the two? Please explain. And number 3, Asa Ki Baat rejects discrimination or mistreatment of others based on gender, caste, and other divisions among humans, and emphasizes the oneness of all humanity. Briefly discuss the message of Asa Ki Baat and various inequalities prevailing at Guruji's time, and analyze the importance of such a message in today's world. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
मोस्टली जेड़ा 5th ग्रुप है जिवें पहले सारे ग्रुप्स बच्चों ने स्पीचेस कीतियां सी पोडियम ते आके ते 5th ग्रुप इंटरनेशनल लेवल ते हमेशा इस तरह हुंदा है जिहदे विच के बच्चों का डिस्कशन ग्रुप हुंदा है. तो इस वारी साडे कोल 2 बच्चे सी तो आसा दी वार दा टॉपिक सीगा तो बच्चों को थोड़ा टफ भी लग रहा सी तो उन्होंने दोनों ने रल के थोड़ी प्रिपेयर किया है तो असीं ओहो जे स्टाइल विच ही करांगे जिवें इंटरनेशनल लेवल ते हुंदा. ते तुसीं जे जजिस इधर बैठना ठीक है जी उत्थे ठीक है. ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਰਦਾਰਨੀ ਜਸਪਿੰਦਰ ਕੌਰ ਉਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੇ ਦਿਲਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਕੌਰ ਤੇ ਟੀਨਾ ਕੌਰ ਉੱਪਰ ਆ ਜਾਣਗੇ. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜੱਜਿੰਗ ਉਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੀ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਆਨਸਰ ਕੀ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਉਹਦਾ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਹੈਗੇ ਜੀ. इस प्रोग्राम के कि मॉडरेटर होंगे तो जसपिंदर कौर जी मॉडरेटर ने तुसी मना कुछ अगे हो सकते हैं जितने कंफर्टेबल लग रहा है ऑन ने ये बच्चे ओपन बुक भी रख सकते हैं उन्होंने बुक को क्वेश्चन अपने नोट्स उन्होंने तैयार किए हुए हैं. और फर्स्ट जी कैसे वागे जी का खास अपना अपना नाम दस दो फिर रोशन करेंगे. हाँ
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. My name is Tina Khan. I'm Dopri.
So साथ में I think दिलप्रीत ने अपना ओवर बोल दी गई है कि बुक का नाम सब कुछ बोलिया ना आसा की वार बारी हैगी है तो जजिस के नाम बोल है ਤੇ ਕੁਐਸਚਨਸ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਹੀ ਨੇ. ਬਾਕੀ ਹੁਣ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਮੀਡੀਏਟਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੰਪਲੀਟ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਸੰਗਤ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਹੀ ਜੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਹੋਏ ਆਪਾਂ ਡਿਸਕਸ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਨਾ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਤੇ ਪਰ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਹਾਰਡ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੁੱਛਿਓ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੇ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਪ੍ਰਿਪੇਅਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੇ. ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ. Okay, it's
Are we
me.
doing up? So we're doing, okay, I get it. Waਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. Asa Ki Vaad is ultimately a ballad of hope written by Guru Nanak Dev Ji and Guru Angad Dev Ji, but it was compiled by Guru Arjan Dev Ji. Specifically, out of the 59 surahs, 45 were written by our first Guru, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, and 14 by our second Guru, Guru Angad Dev Ji. A few important messages in Asa Ki Vaad are that Guruji wants us to remember that we have to stay on the right track. We should always remember why Guruji. Do not be disturbed by the dangers of Maya in the age of Kali. We are egotistical, selfish, and ignorant. We need to be humble and remember that Waheguruji is always with us, and He is the one who has given everything to us, and that we need to be always, He knows everything, and we always need to be in remembrance of Him. Waheguruji ka Khalsa, Waheguruji ki Fateh.
Before you start, you know, 2 minutes the opening हैगा. Opening time ਜਿਹੜਾ 2 minutes.
Tina, would you like to respond to the opening statement?
Waheguruji ka Khalsa, Waheguruji ki Fateh. So today I'm going to be discussing questions from Asa Ki Vaad. The book discusses different messages from Guruji and to show us the power of God. There are 24 bodies and the theme is how to become a spiritual person. It talks about how even spiritual people have negative qualities sometimes, but we are all human and no one's perfect really. It talks about egotistical people or people that don't believe in Gurujis or God, and it persuades us to follow the teachings of the Gurus and gives us examples of reasons why we should follow these teachings. Waheguruji ka Khalsa, Waheguruji ki Fateh.
5 minutes open discussion.
On the opening statement?
Open discussion. Alright, Tina, briefly mention some important messages contained in Asa Ki Vaad. What is the most important message from Asa Ki Vaad that you hope to put in practice in your own life? Why is it important for you to personally live by that message?
So, there were actually a few very important messages in Asa Ki Vaad. One of them was God can be reached by singing His praises. Contented devotees worship and meditate on God. They abandon ill deeds and strive to earn the wealth of virtues. I feel this is important because it emphasized the need to worship the Gurus and God, and by doing this, people will learn good deeds such as praying instead of engaging in other negative deeds. Another significant message is everyone is entrapped in attachment. By that, I kind of took that everyone kind of is stuck in their material things like phones and social media and all that. They don't really focus on God or like the good side of like praying and stuff like that. And then another quote was, "For man, the real defilements are greed and falsehood." That's another thing. They kind of just are in their own world. They don't really focus on the outer world or praying or the good for everyone. Waheguruji ka Khalsa, Waheguruji ki Fateh.
Are you agreeing with her?
Yeah, she basically covered most of what was the messages in Asa here, but I had a couple more. Well, it starts out with the dangers of Maya in the age of Kali. I remember it talked about how we are egotistical, selfish, and ignorant. And it talks about how Guru Nanak Dev Ji even wrote, "Believe you me, they are wasting their precious human birth in this life." And Guruji wants us to know that everything is perishable. Guruji tells us this world is an impermanent reality. And also, he tells us that what really counts is not the knowledge. Like, we go to school, but it's not the education that Waheguruji really counts us for. It's the self-control, purity, and compassion that Waheguruji is looking for in us. Waheguruji knows our inner selves, and he cannot be deceived. Also, the pollution of oneself. Everybody has an ego, And this comes from the greed, lust, lying, and slander of others. Impurity exists in one's ego. Also, everyone is equal and human. There is no justification for passing on judgment and abusing others. Wahiguruji also teaches us about how a true seeker of the truth welcomes both the good and bad from Wahiguruji as a blessing. We obey Wahiguruji's hukum. Servants of Wahiguruji must obey him and ask for no reward. We must be humble towards Wahiguruji. We can overcome one's ego by humility, truth, and holy living. Wahiguruji ka Khalsa, Wahiguruji ki Fateh.
Can you briefly discuss the message of Asa Ki War on race inequalities prevailing at Guruji's time and analyze the importance of such a message in today's world?
Yes, well, Guruji talked about gender inequalities in Asa Ki War. He talked about how women were suffering from gender equality, but then he continues to talk about how women are equal to men. The network of all his relationships developed through the woman only. Satyaguruji says that it is fundamentally wrong to view women as inferior to men. The truth is that whether a human is a woman or a man, the thing that matters, the most important thing that matters is that they practice Wahiguruji's hukum. They listen to Wahiguruji's command, and that they are one with Wahiguruji.
So to add on to that, I have also a quote just basically backing her up that there was a quote that said that women are impure, unholy, and very inferior to men, and that was like how times were during Guruji's time. But then it says that Guruji believed that women are the top substance of mankind in the world. So it argues that women actually shouldn't be considered inferior because they kind of are the reason everyone is there in a way. Everyone comes from women, which is written in the book. So it just emphasizes the equality between genders.
Would you like to make a closing statement, Tina?
So today we are focused more on our daily lives, and stuff that was covered in this was how material things get in the way, and we kind of forget that the goal of the gurus was to worship God and pray, and we just need to remember that everyone should meditate on God, everyone's equal, and
Your closing statement.
For the full, okay. I have that Guruji today, he teaches us that Guruji since Guru Nanak Dev Ji, they've been teaching us that we are surrounded by different things that distract us, distractions. We are surrounded by distractions, and he tells us that we need to focus on our one path, our one goal that Guruji had for us. Our one goal is we need to remember Wahiguruji and become one with Wahiguruji. And to do that, we need to remember, do Wahiguruji's hukum, praise Wahiguruji, and live an honest and humble life.
Anybody would like to ask any questions?
I can ask. What do you guys think was what's the most important lesson you learned from doing this?
Well, in the first question, it was similar to this question was asked. So from that, I feel like one of the main things, especially these days, was that everyone is entrapped in attachment. And I feel like that's a big thing these days, like with modern technology, new like smartphones, different social media. I feel like everyone is just kind of in their own world on there, even though social media or the internet is like a big world in itself. But everyone doesn't, like nobody really takes the time to get out of that world for a second and actually focus on the world we're in and pray to God and do good deeds.
My important message that I had from this and how it applied to my life, I said that as Manimukh, we travel the world with hearts filled of selfishness and ignorance. But Wahiguruji is not pleased and cannot be deceived unless our hearts are full of love and devotion. I want to become one with Waiguruji, and that's why that message really appealed to me. And that's just one aspect of Asagi Var that is short yet appealing. Also, I need to practice being more loving and devoted towards Waiguruji because he is the one who gave us all of this. And we need to be more thankful towards Waiguruji. Waiguruji ka Khalsa, Waiguruji ki Fateh.
I have one question. The Sikh religion is almost 500 years old, and you've grown up in the U.S. Do you think it's still relevant here, and how do we spread it after you read Asa Diwan? Both of you have given your personal statements. How can we spread it among Sanghas, or people you meet who are not Sikhs? You can say some words.
Well, I believe that like Sikhism actually isn't that. I mean, between us, it's like, of course, a huge thing in our lives, but in the U.S. as a whole, it's not that big. And even, I actually recently did a project on India, and Sikhism was only 5%, and that was not just Sikhism too, that was other religions. So like, as a whole, Sikhism isn't that big, widespread, well known. And I feel like a way to kind of get the word out there about Sikhism, we could have programs, events kind of like, they have these Day with India programs, or India Day. We could kind of do things like that in like downtown areas and spread the word about Sikhism, kind of just programs that explain what Sikhism is. And even through social media, if we post pictures like of events that we do, or like things that we celebrate in Sikhism, and just kind of explain a little bit what it is, that could, just those little things can spread the word of Sikhism.
I said that a Sikh is a student and our Guru is our teacher. We need to listen to what our Guruji tells us and spread our Guruji's message towards others. Others, I know that people around here, they don't really they see a turban and they automatically assume that this person is terrorist, or they are somebody, they have a negative connotation on the flag, but we see it as it is courageous that you have one, especially in this kind of community and the world we live in today. And also, like she was saying, how we need to spread it community-wise. I know, and through social media, I follow this account on Instagram, the Jakarta movement, and they are going in Bakersfield and Stockton, I think, in Fresno. They are having Punjabi classes open up in high schools, how they teach Spanish and French and German. Now they're teaching Punjabi to other kids in the community who want to learn as well, and they're teaching others about Sikhism because it is the 5th largest religion in the world.
Exactly, that's the point. I saw a video on my Facebook page about Turban Day in New York. How many people here have seen it? Those who have not, just Google it, Turban Day in New York City. It is the most beautiful video you will see. There's people from all over the world who are in Times Square, and they're getting a free turban. And they're loving it because ultimately we're all humans, and what Guru Nanak said, Manas ki jaat sab ek pehchan wo. I really like what your girl said, and I hope we keep doing such programs. Thank you.
There is one more campaign in Washington, Sikh campaign. So they hired those people who campaigned for Obama.
I've heard about it, yes.
And they are already on CNN and Fox. TV advertisements. They are doing a lot of things.
They celebrate Vaisakhi in New York City on Madison Square Garden every year.
They do, but the awareness like this is none. Go to Riverside Middle School. How many people know about Sikh religion? That's what I was talking about.
TV is locally. So start from home. I feel even though it is not well known, I feel slowly it is becoming more of a bigger thing. And I know that I said with social media, everyone's always kind of entrapped with that, but in a way it's also helpful to get the word out there. So I think slowly with these videos that everyone's been seeing of these Turban Day and all that kind of is because of social media too. So I feel it is slowly becoming people are getting more knowledge about it. But right now it's still not that.
Yeah, even in Canada, they had I think April was Sikh Heritage Month. They have in Canada, and they raised the Nishan Sahib in was it Toronto? Toronto. Yeah, they raised the Nishan Sahib, and the mayor. Yeah, he was the one who was talking, like he tweeted about it, and he was like posting, he had like a press like conference and stuff that he wrote about in his speech. So like, especially higher officials, like in the government, them spreading Sikhism is also great for publicity for Sikhism as well.
Thank you.
और संगत जो किसी का क्वेश्चन है
और संगत जो किसी का क्वेश्चन है we still have 5 minutes.
संगत ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਰ ਕਿਸੇ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਹੋਏ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਅਜੇ 5 ਤੋਂ 7 ਮਿੰਟ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਸੰਗਤ ਦੀ ਡਿਸਕਸ਼ਨ ਲਈ ਸੰਗਤ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛ ਸਕਦੇ ਨੇ
We didn't go over the question too, and we have a few more things if there like no one has a question, we could just I guess continue with our content thing.
So if you have to discuss, you can discuss question.
Okay. So question number 2 asked about, and Asaki Vani talks about creation, like planets and nature, and how Buddhists have often found inspiration and spiritual insights by looking towards creation to understand the truth, yet they say that creation is false. And I said that it is contradicting because in a way the material things are false, but it's like circular reasoning. How everything is created by Vaiguruji is true, is how Guru Nanak Dev Ji said in the beginning. He started out by talking about how the planets created by thee and the structures therein are also all real, and thine formulations and creations are firm and permanent and imperishable. But then it also goes on to talk about how everything is false, and he talks about that because in his one of his parties he talks about that the ultimate truth, that Vaiguruji is the only supreme leader, he's the Lord, he has the supreme power, he is the one that lives without fear. And everything, it says on the contrary, each and every living being as well as reckonable forces of the universe live and function in his sphere. And those that live in and function in his sphere are false. Those are the perishable that it is talking about, the creation that is false, that Guruji was talking about.
So, I also believe that it's contradictory because it's basically what Dilpreet said, like, Guru Nanak believes everything is created by God, and there's a quote that says, God himself has created this universe, and he himself looks after it. But then there are some that do not believe in his power, and they're described as the ignorant people. So these ideas are contradictory because some believe in one thing while others believe something else. And also by saying how God has created good and helpful creations in the world, such as nature, but then at the same time there's so much kind of evil in the world, and all these things that have been happening recently actually in the news too. But at the same time everything is supposed to be created by God, and everything's supposed to be good, but that's why it's contradictory, because there are some not so good things in the world too. Yeah, and then for number 3, we actually So for number 3, we actually
I actually have a question. I actually have a question on the second question. So what do you guys think? So in biology we study, right, the whole universe was created by Big Bang theory. There were some single cell organisms and they eventually become more and more complex, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you see this theme fitting in Gurbani about creation of universe?
Like you mean like applying
Is
it?
it contradictory? What does Gurbani say about creation of the universe?
Yeah, it talked about how it says that Guruji, it says right here in the beginning that Guruji was talking about how everything was created by him. Satya tere khand, satya brahmand, satya tere lo, satya akar, satya tere karne sarab vichar, satya tera amar, satya divan. It talked about how like everything that you created, the planets, the universe, nature and everything, all the structures are real. So that's like how you're saying like biology and how it comes together. But then also he talked about how everything lives in your sphere, so it's false and nothing is true. Nothing is here permanently. It's all like Maya and everything.
intelligence.
And I feel that
Yeah, so my question is that how is the universe created, right? So, like Christianity says, everything is dated to 6,000 years or something, right? So suddenly everything came into being. They don't believe in Big Bang, right? They don't believe in evolution. So my question is, maybe it's related, maybe it's not, but the point is that how does Ravani see creation of the universe?
well,
I don't know if it's related to the question itself, that you guys are discussing here.
Not the scientist way. He was talking spiritually to make people unite with the one. So he did not talk as a scientist open, but he has given some like science. So if we go into Gurbani, there's Guru Nanak Bani, it says, Sache te pavana bhaya, pavane te jal hoye, jal te tre pavan sajya, kat kat, jyot, shoye. It gives the same definition what the science today gives of this all came up. Even science starts from the water. This all came from the water. But Guru Nanak goes one step beyond. What's before water? Then he said, gases. Gases. What before gases? Rabji. Akal. Sache te pavana ko star ko nahi gases बनाएंगे. Gases तो पानी बनया है H2O और सम पता है. साचे ते पवना गया. पवने ते पवना gases. पवने ते जल बोला. जल के तरह पवन साया. From the water dissolved came up. And then it says after juice going each and every जड़ा जी जाता सिक्या दियो वो यो डवलप हो गया. This is scientific definition, but ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਸਾਇੰਟਿਸਟ ਬਣ ਕੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, but he has given the idea.
I think that's very important point to discuss, right? So that's where Christianity fails, right? And then Guru Sahib said,
yeah, Guru Sahib all definition.
So he said that Titwa na jogi na jo tumhara koi ya dasta se ko saathi ape jaane. So I think the point is that he did not try to be a scientist. He did not predict and explain how the universe was created.
His motto was not be the master of knowledge.
So that's important point to exactly. And that's the thing with discussion.
And content ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਾ ਝੂਠ ਕੰਟਰਡਿਕਸ਼ਨ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ. There is no contradiction in Gurbani. ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਮੰਨ ਕੇ ਚੱਲੀ ਅਸੀਂ. But ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਫੋਨ ਆਇਆ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੋਲੰਬੀਆ ਤੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਪੁੱਛੇ ਭਾਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੂੰ ਹਰਮੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਇੱਥੇ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ ਹਰਮੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਇੱਥੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ. ਉਹ ਬੰਦਾ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਚੱਲ ਪਏ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਣ ਲਈ है ना. He starts from there to see me here after 15-20 minutes I will be not here. वो आके कहेगा झूठ बोलिया भाई साहब तुसी है ना. लेकिन जब इन्होंने बोलिया वो सच बोलिया. But when he came here I was not here. वो झूठ हो गया. Same way जो भी है सच है. Everything is truth. But it will not remain forever. Oh Guru Sahib.
yeah.
That's what Guru Sahib is telling.
So like I want to like it does say in here God himself has created this universe, but really like one of the things you said was how Christianity believes something, Sikhism believes something. Again, it's all a belief. Like no one actually knows exactly like everything. Like how there's no I don't know how to explain it. Like no one actually knows like what happened, but it's just kind of what you believe, and like it's just like our kind of duty to spread this belief, what we believe, but there's no really anything right or wrong in this situation. And also that question wasn't like directly asked really, but we're just like trying to answer it the best we can. Kind of. Okay, so
Do you want to discuss anything?
We have stuff, but like
for the question 3, we just really mentioned.
We have last 3 minutes each. 3 minutes.
Yeah, we just gotta give it
Oh, I texted, I didn't know how to type it.
You
guys can
yeah,
say
we're
whatever
just
you feel like you
we're
need to
just
say.
discussing.
Okay, just discuss the third question, then we
For
will.
the third question, we mentioned how like there was the gender discrimination, but that's not like really the only, that's a major factor of discrimination, but there's also other ones such as like religion or caste discrimination. So one of them was, one of the examples in the book was caste discrimination, and so basically, it talks about how different castes had different duties. So some people had like acquiring spiritual knowledge, some were protecting society, but really like the message of gurus was that everyone should meditate on God. Like even though all these castes have different duties, those really don't matter because as long as everyone meditates on God, it's like one duty of everyone kind of together. So there shouldn't be really any. There is no caste system when we all have this one duty to pray and meditate on God.
Yeah. And then also there's also religious and like cultural division. Guru starts to talk about Guru Angad Dev Ji starts to talk about how the Brahmins are to read and propagate the contents of the Vedas. Khatris are expected to fight bravely to protect their society. And then Shudras, the low caste, are expected to serve the high caste people. And Guru Dev talked about how, like, trying to understand the reality is one thing, but one thing will become clear that meditation on God is the only role that we all have. Not to be a fighter, not to be a warrior, not to be a scholar. It's always to focus on what Vaheguru is saying. And it's not like discriminating against others, like how people are like, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. It's more about how we all are on the path to be one with Vaheguru.
And so many kind of go with that. It's kind of religion, but I don't know if this is really category age discrimination. That's not really actual like discrimination, but this quote says that people may divide religion according to the age or era, but the reality is that those who live in humbleness and carry out loving worship of the Lord attain salvation. So it kind of talks about how kind of like the generation division, but just because someone is younger or older, that doesn't really define their spiritual abilities. And everyone has the power and ability to worship God, so they shouldn't be put in a certain category just because, like, oh, they're younger, so they won't, like, fully understand everything. But as long as someone prays or worships God, it's kind of, it shouldn't be separated, and no one should be really separated. It should all be one.
Any questions?
So, I have a question about the, like, revolving around the second question. You both said that, like, Vaheguru Ji, he created the universe and he exhibited his power by doing so. And he protects the universe. What does he do? What does he do for pollution and global warming?
Okay, well, everything is Vaheguru will, so I guess pollution and global warming is his way of telling us to stop doing so. Start focusing on
Well,
what
now that's probably like more man-made.
Yeah.
Guruji didn't really create pollution. It's what we don't do right.
Yeah.
And we create all the extra evils that you were talking about. That includes pollution, that includes everything else. That's something that we need to listen to Gurbani and take it in the true meaning and do right. And when we start walking on that path, we stop doing evils and stops creating all that extra environmental things that you were talking about, plus other things, the evil that goes on in the world, the fighting and everything else. That's us. That's us. That's not Guruji. That's not Vaheguruji's, not his saying at all. So our job, I think, is to just listen to what he has to say. I mean, it's all in our Gurbani right there. It's very clearly said. It's for us to understand it and put it in our lives every day.
Yeah, Vaheguruji said it's a drama.
It's a drama.
It
is a tamasha, isn't it? Yeah.
Where is the house of God? according to Gurbani, in the Asaniwar, Guru Sahib Gurmani, they are the guardians. ये जब सच्चे की है बोलड़ी, सच्चे का भी if you clean our house, what you put in the garden, बलहारी, Asaniwar. It means we should love the nature, parties, जिस नाम से कार साफ करते हैं, when the people come to know it will happen. अरे 10 80 पढ़ रहे हैं, खुद पढ़ रहे हैं, आज तक 80 practical कर रहे हैं. But when we start with practical Gurbani, this problem will be solved. All the problem of the world can be solved. We start living with the
Okay.
What are the few Sikh practices that promote equality?
एक मिनट क्वेश्चन जजेस तो शीट्स कलेक्ट कर लेने जो कि ਅਸੀਂ टैली करना
दोनों ही नहीं ना जो असली नंबर के ना नहीं देते मेरे पास कितने लोग मिलके मैं डन गुड
नहीं मतलब ਅਸੀਂ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਫਿਰ ਕਰਨਾ ਬਾਕੀ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਦੇਰ ਵੇਟ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਇਹ ਸਾਰੀ ਡਿਸਕਸ਼ਨ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਰਹੇਗੀ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੈਰੀ ਆਨ
Okay, the question is, give few example of practices that promote equality.
I know sitting on the floor, eating lungar together, everybody sitting on the floor is one way to promote equality. There's a story about how a king came one time to Guruji and he was like, I'm sitting on the floor with everybody else because we all are equal is what Rahiji said. So that's one way.
So a discussion हर एक लिए we can carry on जितनी देर time कर रहे हैं टैली हो रहे हैं the result.
I guess another thing would just be like common practices like within the group, like kind of sitting together, but also like everyone has to cover their heads. It's just like little things that everyone kind of just has to do that makes them equal.
Langar practice.
Yeah, langar practice. Somebody back.
या ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਬਣਾ ਵੀ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇਕੁਐਲਿਟੀ ਦਾ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਯੂ ਡਿਡਨਟ ਡਿਸਕਸ ਲੇਡੀਜ਼ discuss that.
And schools, they were made only to equality. उन्होंने only से ना बात तो Gurbani conduct कर दी Guru साहब अपना तो show कर देते that was equality. बड़ी बड़ी गल है कि आज ड्यूटी जाके ना पे 10 बराबर में Guru साहब की बड़ी
So your question was kind of saying like examples of how Sikhism promoted equality.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the same time, I feel like we could still do more to promote equality. Like I feel like there's still a lot of inequality, like not just in Sikhism, but just in general. I feel like there's still a lot of inequality, so like we could still do more to kind of make it equal. But that's why I kind of didn't have much to say for promote, like how we already examples of what we already have.
Brings discrimination against women. Abolitionism. How does Sikh abolitionism, discrimination, degrading?
Ways that like leaving.
Right. I'm just coming out with a general question.
Gurbani ne jis jamma rajan Gurbani says and then
Also having the problem.
Gender equality.
you can say we are not agree. You can give your view if you are not agree.
I feel that like one way. I actually during like one Sikhi camp that we had one year, I actually did bring up the question of why women and men sit on separate sides, and they said it was kind of to decrease, distractions within the Gurdwara. But then at the same time, if you think about it in churches, like with Christianity in churches, there's no like sides, and it's not like they're like the top religion or something, right? So it's not like there's really distractions necessarily. So I feel like that's one thing. Like actually recently I have seen like we're kind of, I mean some guys have been sitting on the side, but like
feel like the whole section difference is kind of one thing that promotes like, and like another thing actually, I mean I don't mean to like offend anyone or anything at Gurudwara, but like a lot of the time I see like the women are kind of in like the kitchen, which is like a stereotype, and like the men are doing like all the work, you know, it's like yeah. So I feel like everyone can kind of contribute, and like everyone can kind of be more equal. So there
in history, Sikh history, how like we have many warriors, like Sikh women warriors who went and fought on the battlefield with Guruji as well. They went out, and so that like shows how like it's not just men who can be on the battlefield, and also women. And also Guruji stood up for like women's rights and stuff. Like how I know a long time ago, like the women used to Hindu women, I think, or like I don't know, just women used to, when their husbands would die, they would jump in the fire as well and burn themselves. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji talked about how like this is not like, why would you do that when you're supposed to be doing that for Guruji, not for your husband? Guruji is the one you should be doing that for, not your husband.
So yeah, like through the years there have been like more advancements like towards getting equality for women, but I feel like there still are things that could be done.
It's very unfortunate, even though we are learning Sikh from Guru Granth Sahib, that's the only source to learn Sikh, I want to emphasize. But still, socially, we have to evolve.
We're not implementing what Guru is telling us.
The practical.
Yeah.
And this brain is such a beautiful thing. I was listening to the interview of one psychologist and a brain that She was telling it's such a wonderful thing God has made. We did not use yet this even this 7% and 8%. But she said we came to know until we do practical, it does not tune. But the beautiful, जो same Guru Nanak Pasha ने करनी बाजू कराना बोले, करनी बाजू practical. वो साइंटिस्ट का भी ऐसी है बड़ी वंडरफुल चीज है, but ये उन्हीं ने नहीं होता जिन्हें वो practical नहीं कर देता. Then he gets अपनी जीवन में practical बीचता पड़े आप रटिया पड़ा जात वाणी करते practical. Women की गल है कि during Guru Sahib period and after Guru Sahib period, Sikh Raj का women साथ को lead कर दिया गया. माई बाबू, अब उन्हें बच्ची ने दसिया कि वो रंजीत सिंह की सास सी जड़ी बाद वो अपने विषय की विष्णु लीड कर रही थी. बाद में रंजीत सिंह ना वो समझौता किया. लेडीज हम लीड कर रही है. It means during Guru period and after Guru period, Sikh period, ladies were given equality, proper practical होना सी. But after that, we are living under the influence of majority in India. We follow the same what they do. We treat the women same way what they do. We have to practical असी छाट देता करना इस करके साड़ी आ. Guru Sahib has given all equality and Sikh followed that up to Sikh Raj. They followed that. They have given the women equal status. Journal बनाए थे, but after that we did not give the practical.
It's just kind of like the culture.
Like you people, you will improve it. We will not. We will just read it and go from this world. You will implement it. You will enjoy it.
अजे भी वेट कर रहे हैं जजेस की ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸ਼ੀਟ ਆਪਣੇ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟਸ ਦੀ. ਜੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੇ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ ਕੋਈ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਚਾਹ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਨੀ ਦੇਰ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ.